3 tips to run your first 100-mile race. Start out. First tip is what kind of shoes are you going to wear? My last event, I wore 2 pairs of shoes, so I'm with enough toe room to not have any swelling in my toes, and another pair of shoes in case the first pair got uncomfortable. I would highly recommend a carbon plate shoe. It's going to be way lighter, it's going to cause you a lot less drag, and you're going to be able to continue on further even if you're walking with a lot less effort, which is what you want. Tip number 2 is dialing in your nutrition. What are you going to eat? Gels or hard food, or the food that the race or your event provides for you? How often are you going to eat? One tip I would recommend is similar to having to stop for gas in a car. The amount of time that takes on a trip slows you down, but if you were to continually refuel, you wouldn't have to stop at all. So I would recommend eating electrolytes and drinking electrolytes every single stop that you can. Do not go to empty. And continue your hydration and keep your fuel levels and electrolytes high in your body so you don't run out and have to refuel, because the amount of effort that takes is super inefficient. Finally, your third tip for running 100 miles is pacing. How do you pace if you don't know what you're doing? You can do math and average out your time for the amount of time you want to finish. For example, 24 hours, about a 14-minute mile for 100 miles. But what I would recommend is try to run your first 10 miles like you will your last 10 miles, and try to set a time goal for each section that you want to do. Obviously, those last couple miles are going to be a lot slower, but at the end of the day, there's two schools of thought. We're going to divide this into 2 parts, first 50 and second 50. Your first 50, if you take it slow and are conservative, you're going to be a lot more fresh and ready to go for your second. However, you will still be fatigued regardless. So when it comes time for your second 50, if you have no time to spare because you've been conservative and took it slow, now you have to stay on schedule. And if anything goes wrong, you're out of luck. If you go with how you feel and push a little bit first 50, and you have maybe an hour, 2 hours to spare and you're ahead of schedule, now you have some cushion time and some leverage to to pick up the speed or reduce the speed depending on how things go for your second half. The choice is up to you. I've always been the push hard the first half, push hard the second half, and end up with a little bit of extra time in the second half. However, people that win races do a negative split. So if you can do the same time for both halves, you're going to come ahead of the guy next to you. Because that's smart running. Hope this video is helpful. There's more to come. Like and subscribe for more. I've ran several marathons.